Welcome back to Talking Shit, where we are talking all sorts of shit. Schitt's Creek, that is. I'm Jess Sterling, and today we are talking about the anti-penultimate episode of the series, Season 6, Episode 12, The Pitch. And of course, I'm never alone here. I am joined by someone who always goes to the M&M store when visiting New York City. Stuart! How are you?
What made that even worse, Jess, is that you showed me before this pod that you write them down on paper, these intros, and I saw you look down at it and read it and still flub it.
I did.
Also, M&M stores, they're the worst. No one goes to them. Why do people go to them?
Tourists go to them.
I hate it. We have one in London, and it's just like death. Avoid it. The only good thing about the M&M store in London is it's opposite the Lego store. Mm-hmm. The only reason you would even go near it. But never. Death. Evil.
Well, we're not alone today. We are joined by someone who always starts a prayer with "to whom it may concern." Will, how are you?
I've been to the M&M store. It was okay.
Why?
A little too crowded.
It was okay.
Why would you go to the M&M store?
I was with people who wanted to go.
Oh, well, that seems that.
I've been to New York City a lot.
Well, yeah, I know.
I just don't understand the need for there to be such a big store for what is effectively.
They have the big tubes and you fill up a bag with different M&Ms you want.
But it's not like they're different flavors. They're all the same flavor. They're just different colors.
Yeah,
Skittles, I can understand. Because they get variant flavors and things like that. But M&Ms, it's just chocolate. Bad chocolate.
I don't even care about the regular M&Ms. If it's not a peanut M&M, I'm out.
Peanut M&Ms are the best M&Ms. Yeah, I will die on a hill over that. Definitely. Yeah.
Totally agreed.
I like the
peanut butter. So over
ones.
M&M chat already.
Peanut butter are okay, but like the regular ones get in the bin.
Anyway, we're talking about the pitch today. Will, I signed you up for this episode. You really didn't even pick it, but I picked it because I knew it was a good Johnny episode. So how are you? You kind of picked it. You wanted something else, and I was like, I can't offer you that. I can offer you this instead. Did you like the episode? How do you feel? How do you feel about this episode?
I feel great about it. I love this episode. I thought it worked out for pretty much everybody.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Stuart has thoughts on this, I know already. How did you feel about this episode? We're almost at the end of the show.
Conflicted. We'll get into it when we talk about one particular storyline. But for the most part, really hot on this episode. It's a great episode. I'm so glad that they did some elegant choices with not having too much in the travel aspect of it and just sticking to the format of we're on a location, here's the scene, deal with it. Love that. It kind of goes the way I thought it would go, which isn't a bad thing. I'm okay with getting something that's maybe a smidge predictable at this point because I want a warm hug of expectations to be kind of filled. It's just that slight little peppering of a little bit of sadness that I don't appreciate, Dan Levy, and I'm going to shout at you for it later on, but we'll get into it, I'm sure.
Okay, well, let's do a quick little recap at the top in case people didn't rewatch the episode. Johnny, Stevie, and Roland are off to New York City to do their big pitch to for Rosebud Motels, and everyone is relying on them to score a deal. No one more so than Moira, who starts packing the minute the car leaves the motel parking lot. The excitement is infectious, and Alexis immediately joins her in packing and looking for apartments. When David catches Alexis apartment hunting, he gets the buzz of excitement about potentially moving back to New York, but doesn't exactly make it seem optional when speaking to Patrick about it, leaving Patrick with mixed emotions. David wants to uproot their life and business, but Patrick doesn't seem super thrilled. The Rosebud group struggles at first with their presentation, especially upon learning Mike Morrison won't even be in attendance, but eventually they find their footing and end on a strong note. Forgetting his briefcase, which he brought just to look intimidating, Roland re-enters the Boyd room to hear the group making fun of Johnny and his pitch. Roland valiantly stands up for Johnny, and thankfully, even though that group won't be offering them a deal, Ruth, an associate who will be starting her own firm, offers them a deal, which they take. We end the episode with a celebration, though Patrick doesn't look like he's all that happy. Will, that's our episode.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's going on? I mean, you know what's going on. Stuart doesn't know what's going on.
I mean, I know exactly what's going on. So
Yeah. Stuart, what's going on?
What's going on is a whole lot of expectations being lumped on this whole deal, and I'm kind of not here for it in a way because I mean I'm just gonna say it right now, I'm firmly in like Patrick's camp here. Like this is a lot of change and it's happening too soon. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't necessarily know that it's all gonna be good. And so yeah, got some nerves and concerns and not really appreciating that everyone is like, yeah, yay deal. But yeah, yay deal, because it would be really good. It's like a great way of showing a huge amount of, I guess, confidence and I guess a big tick mark against all the great work that like Stevie and Johnny and even Roland have been doing as part of the group. But I'm like, do you have to leave for it? Like, do we have to do this? I don't know. Maybe it's like end of the season, end of the series kind of feelings that I'm getting. I'm like,
we're
I
getting
don't know
there.
if I should be celebrating this because I don't want it to get there. I want a bit more. Like I want to just, just can we have a bit more, please? Like, does it have to end? Do you have to be successful? Can't you just, be bumblefucks in this small little town anymore? I don't know. I'm really conflicted. But yeah, it was so good, right? Because to see them actually succeed after so many kind of like, attempts at this, it was great to see like Johnny have a moment. And it's also like really be backed up with the team as well. I thought that was particularly like really, really good. So yeah, conflicted is my rambly way of getting to this, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will, where do you want to start? We could talk about the pitch itself with the Rosebud Motel group. We could talk about kind of Moira and Alexis's reactions. I think we should leave David and Patrick for a little bit later, but of those two, which
I mean, before we get to the pitch, it's a lot of like other people setting their own expectations about it. So I think we should start with Moira and Alexis of it all.
Yeah, Moira packs immediately. Like, this is very much in Moira's character. She has been wanting to leave Schitt's Creek since the moment they stepped foot there. It tracks to me that she would be like, well, we're obviously moving into New York. Like, your father's brilliant. He's a genius. Like, we're obviously going to be moving. And I think that it doesn't. I feel like maybe it wouldn't be as infectious if Alexis didn't already have sort of something lined up with Interflix. Like, she has that pre-existing relationship. So I don't think it's much of a leap for her to then envision herself also moving to New York. What's interesting, Will, is that we start out with the family really not being close with one another, right? Like they're not really looking to spend time with one another. And now it's almost like a foregone conclusion that when one of them moves, they all move. So everyone will be moving to New York City. I don't know. I like Moira's enthusiasm and belief in Johnny, even if it is, I forget what she says, but it's counting their chickens before they hatch, but she words it in a very strange way.
I mean, when has she not done that though? Like the second she gets like the movie offer, the second she gets like the script for like the potentials, like Sunrise Bay, she's always like, "This is it. This is my time. This is everything. I'm all in. Like things are going to be different now for me." So I think that's just in her character to be that way. So I'm not surprised, but I think she gets brought back down to earth a little faster than usual when we see her with the jazzy girls.
Oh gosh, yeah. Goodbye, Grace. Farewell, Grace.
I thought
that
you were just one of my great quality
attributes. Yeah,
attributes.
Yeah,
unreal.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
really bad.
so. It's on. This is
just
one I
smear
think the worst thing she's done. Right, like it's the worst because
the cake.
There's been worse.
No, like
it's
I don't
up
know,
there.
the social awkwardness of like realizing a leaving do is not for you. It's for someone else, and then
Excuse me, a
smearing
what?
over their
A
name.
what?
A leaving do, like a leaving party. you know what it is.
We call
Being
them bon voyage
facetious.
parties, but
Bon voyage.
bon voyage if you're leaving or like a moving, like a
every
farewell
form of event
party.
No, every
a
form of
do.
event or party is a do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everything's a
Leaving
do.
do, hen do, stag do, I don't know, other do's,
Mm.
All the
aga
dues,
do.
birthday do,
yeah.
anniversary do.
But like, if you're having that for someone, and then you're told, oh, okay, you've effed up, you've cut the cake for someone. Don't just smear over their name,
Yeah.
especially if they're stood right next to you.
She keeps
This
forgetting
is
which one
someone
is
that you've been
Grace.
But
Yep.
this is someone that you've been singing with for 3 years. Like, this is unreal.
It was so good. I love that Jocelyn tries to stop her multiple times.
Mhm.
And I will credit to Jocelyn. I've been on her ass this season for being the worst, but she's very reasonable this episode. She's like not
Mhm.
wanting to say anything yet. It's too soon. She's like, oh, I don't know. Roland's sending me these emojis that are slightly concerning. Like his head is exploding. I don't know about this. I mean, the one thing I will say is why are you putting onions in Roland's
Oh, thank God.
omelet? What are we doing? Why are we doing this?
I mean, is that such a weird thing? Like,
at
I've
least
seen
well,
onions
you
in
don't
an
want
omelet.
his breath to stink, but at least she gave him mints and reminded him of the mints.
Mhm.
His
They did
breath's
get
gonna
you.
stink either way.
It's so true, though. He looks like a guy who has halitosis. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, who's
yeah. But
halitosis? No, onions are a choice. Like, that's a smell that bakes in, especially for breakfast. Like, onions at breakfast, that's a choice.
it's a rough way to start your day.
Yeah. And also, like, of all things to have for cereal, like before a flight as well, it's just a really oniony omelette. I'm like, is that the best choice?
Plus, they were late, which I don't know whose fault that was, but
I mean, Roland
I'm
was the
with
one who was
Johnny.
late.
I'm with, well, yeah, both of them are at fault in that. Like, I don't know if it was like, I don't know, maybe it was him putting the suit on. He did look snazzy. Good on Roland for looking quite snazzy.
Same size.
But I'm more of an athletic build. But back to Jocelyn, I do think she kind of pulls Moira back down to earth in like not counting their poultry before it's incubated. And I mean, on the Alexis side of things,
Yeah.
she immediately buys into the like excitement from Moira. She starts apartment hunting. And I will say, shout out to Alexis. I thought it was very sweet of her to look for 2 bedrooms, assuming that her and David would live together. It's like, it's very sweet. And also, I think it's intelligent considering the housing market in New York City is a nightmare and it's expensive. And they're going to, if they share an apartment, they can save money.
I mean, sure, but like David's getting married, and to just assume that they're gonna live with you when they're like about to get married, I think
it's New York City. It's no one can afford an apartment there by themselves.
I mean, I would think she would live with her parents before living with her like
Moira said no.
brother.
Moira said, I don't know if we'll have an extra bedroom for you.
That's outrageous.
That's where you start having a discussion about it.
Yeah. You say, I'm willing to pay rent. Let's go in for a place that's got a spare bedroom. Not I'll default to, living with my brother and his husband.
Who also have a business in the town, and I don't know why it's presumed that they're automatically going to be leaving too. Like, my thoughts, I don't think are that far away from Stuart's thoughts in that regard. Like, I totally agree. That is kind of ridiculous that David to just jump to that.
I just think it's sweet that Alexis wants to be close to her family when previously she wanted nothing but to get away from them. And I think it is kind of her to like, she is making an assumption that like David and Patrick are going to live with her, but like at the very least she's thinking of them, right? Like she's not thinking about only herself, which is a huge step in the right direction, even if she is making some assumptions on some things.
It could be the other way though. Like it could be like she's thinking of them in a selfish way because she's looked at like 1-bedroom apartment rent costs and has just gone, hell no, I need someone else who's available. Mum said
even then she's being realistic.
I could pay 1/3 of that.
Even then she is being realistic where she didn't used to be, right? Like she has definitely grown up and is like, has a budget now, which previously like, what's a budget,
I don't blame her for wanting to move there also because of what she said in a previous episode, how she wanted her career to blossom a little more, and there's not a lot of clients in this particular small town. If she wants to be this like kind of talent management.
Yeah, if she wants any clients, she's got to get the hell out of here and get somewhere like New York is going to be the like prime space to do it, right?
Yeah.
And so it makes total sense. But yeah, I just like I want to find the nice gesture in her looking and like kind of thinking of David in that moment. But I totally think it is what you said, Will. It's I'll pay a third of the rent cost.
Oh, I mean,
splitting a 2-bedroom apartment.
At least partially that.
Yeah. Like
and she'll get she has a lot of coats, so she needs the master bedroom.
Yeah. I think we've absolutely deflated this theory of yours, Jess. This is
you get one of those beds that folds out of the wall. How cute.
I still think she is being kind, but yeah, so let's get into the actual pitch itself. Where Johnny, Stevie, and Roland are off to New York City. Mike Morrison, sorry, isn't even there. They seem to the other people in the room say that like, oh, Mike sent the jet because he felt bad that he wouldn't be able to attend. I mean, I guess whatever, sure, put me on a jet.
I'll take it, but a phone call, it takes 2 seconds. Like, just let me know beforehand. Because it sounds like even Johnny is willing to like reschedule it. Just schedule it another time. But I guess the whole thing is, it's a frequent thing. He's a high flying business guy, so this is always going to happen, right? Like I mean, it's also plot, right? We need to engineer this whole scenario, so it's going to happen regardless. But yeah,
definitely can't Skype into the business meeting like that.
Yeah,
across the world.
Is this
too busy?
Post-COVID at this point?
This is during COVID.
During COVID.
Well, it's airing during COVID, so it might have been filmed pre-COVID. But they immediately, the people in this room are just instant douchebags. Like, they're talking about nowadays Johnny would be flying coach, and like, immediately making digs at him. They have some issues with the PowerPoint presentation, which again, if the tech is failing, that sounds like that's on the room that they're doing the pitch in, not on the people doing the pitch. But they do recover very well, and ultimately Johnny, Stevie, and Roland, mostly Johnny and Stevie in this moment at least, make a very strong pitch as to what their business model is, how they're going to build the business. There are plenty of like down and out motels that could be, revitalized and all of that. And it is a very impressive pitch. The problem is, it seems like the people in the room were just instructed by Mike Morrison to like, hear them out, and that's it. Like, it doesn't seem like they were ever going to actually take this pitch very seriously, Stuart.
I'm like, I feel like the guy has said, look, here's an old contact of mine, he's a great guy, give him the courtesy of like hearing him out kind of thing, but ultimately the decision still lies with you kind of thing, and they've taken that as free reign to like treat this guy like a piece of shit. And it's so undeserved because, like you say, it's a good idea. Like, I think I've been really skeptical about this whole idea of like, well, how successful is it going to be just buying a load of like crappy motels? But the way Johnny pitched it is really, really good, because it's that whole thing of, it's a window into a view of like small town life. You can really kind of like get a stamp of identity on each one, and there's so much untapped potential because they have been thought of as just stopping points on a journey, when really, with a lick of paint and a bit of cleaning, they can be brought up to scratch and can be really kind of like homely, as demonstrated by the fact that he's lived there for 3 years. And it shows so much of like, I think, the personal touch. And I think ordinarily, like in other things, it would be like quite hokey of Johnny to be like, oh, we live there, and it's like this almost like kind of kitschy thing. It really does underline their point of like, yeah, these are habitable places and are kind of nice. So I think it certainly works really well. I was kind of like riding high on it and thought it was so much better than I guess the theories that I had before as to like how they were going to make this work. Although I
Yeah.
will just say, with the whole slides failing, it was really quite funny that it failed when we were going to get some real insights into how their model was going to work.
Mhm.
It was like a real writerly way of saying,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't have to show that. That could
We
be
don't
off
need
camera.
all the numbers. They gave a little bit of the numbers where Stevie was like, the occupancy went up 400%, which is crazy when they started
Mhm.
like marketing and stuff, which
Yeah.
is like alone very impressive.
And that's
And
Yeah.
also like
cleaning. They started cleaning
after the
too.
benefits they've done that. Yeah. So like they
Yeah.
had occupancy increases and then they get Alexis on board. That's after the whole like
Yeah.
process. So like that's a big increase, surely.
Yeah.
And they've
Those
already done it
cinnamon
with
rolls
2.
doing work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I feel like the room they are pitching to, we hear them talking about these like, 5-star hotels they're staying in with golf
Mhm.
courses built in. Like
Mhm.
they're not going to listen to a pitch about motels. It is not their scene. It doesn't matter who's pitching, how they're pitching. They're really writing him off as soon as he walks into the room. Before he walks into the room, they completely write him off. And they're not even willing to hear him out, I don't think. And so they think it went really well. They're like celebrating. It's really lovely. Like Stevie is complimenting Johnny and he's complimenting her. Everyone's excited. Roland realizes he forgot his briefcase, which I love the detail of. He brought a briefcase just to look intimidating. There's like absolutely nothing in it. I think is like such a fun note. And so
Yeah.
he goes back in to get it and he overhears them poking fun at Johnny because he used to have a video store. Now he wants to revitalize motels. Like, what's next? The pager business. And
Good
Roland
plan.
lays into them. Like,
Mhm.
I love this moment for Roland of standing up for Johnny because he didn't have to do that. He could have just like slunk his way out of the room, pretended not to hear it, right? There are so many options that he could have taken, but instead he basically says like, put some respect on his name. That guy is an icon. He's a legend. Like
The
he
man is a
doesn't
legend.
yeah, you don't even deserve to be in business with him. He's incredible and shame on you. And I love him walking it back ever so slightly when he realizes like they're flying him home. And
Mhm.
he's like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry I said it. Like I
Don't
don't regret
regret it.
saying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
that was
great
a
moment for
great
Roland.
touch. Like Roland could have
Mhm.
gone in there like all guns blazing and really put his foot in it, and I think that could like lent it to be a bad thing. Like you can imagine the conflict
Mhm.
afterwards when it's like it gets back that Roland basically shouted at them, but like him just
Yeah.
rolling it back a bit and going, I apologize for my outburst, but I don't regret it. The man's a legend. Like underlining it of like that's the justification. It's not that like, oh, I'm upset that you're not going to go for the deal. I'm upset that you're insulting my friend. And it's like such a
Mhm.
great callback to like the
Yeah.
Taylors and the outrage that we had earlier on
Yeah.
with those of like with Johnny standing up for the shits, and now Roland gets to
Mhm.
repay that favor in the
Yep.
same world. Oh,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yep. Straight to like Johnny's people, as like Roland would probably say. Like straight
Mhm.
to their faces. Like Johnny does it to like old friends of theirs, and then Roland does it to like guys who were presumably like friends of Johnny. And this is, I mean, not a very high bar. One of Roland's like best moments in the entire series. Like, and
Yeah.
when he grabs the briefcase, I didn't fully remember everything. I knew he had like a good moment, but when he like puts the briefcase up on the table, I half expected it to like open up and it to be like bags of chips or something that like come out instead of like papers. And but they don't make it the comedic moment like that. They keep it serious and they give
Mm.
Roland like that moment of like
Yeah.
seriousness and like love for his friends.
And I
Mhm.
love that it continues on because when he comes downstairs and
Mm-hmm.
Stevie and Johnny are like excited and they're talking about celebrating, they have a few minutes before the car is gonna come, like they finished early. Roland's like, come on, let's get out of here. Like, don't get too hyped up. Like he doesn't tell
Yeah.
Johnny, but he wants to level set Johnny's expectations. And I appreciate
Yeah.
that about him. He doesn't like immediately come out and be like, those guys are assholes, like he's trying to, temper Johnny's expectations without outright saying what the
Yeah.
men in the room were saying.
Mhm.
Even when Ruth comes downstairs, right? Like he's very defensive of Johnny and like stands up for him, like, yeah, we're leaving. You don't need to like shove
Yeah.
us out the door.
We know
know
where the
the
door
exit
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I really appreciate Roland for that because he, as much as he really is like a pain at times, he does love and respect Johnny and he
Mhm.
stands up for his friends. And that is like so, and I think that I love the mirroring of the Bevan Don Taylor moment from very, very early on in the series. Like,
Mhm.
it's such a lovely way to kind of end cap this sort of a thing where now Johnny doesn't just live there. He's in business with Roland as well. And
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
just so lovely to then have Ruth, who in the very beginning of the episode says, "Oh, like the free popcorn was like such a nice touch." Like she has a nostalgia for going to his stores, which I think is definitely helpful. And
100%.
her saying like, "Yeah, those guys are douchebags. Like they turn down Uber. Like they don't recognize good pitches. Your idea is a solid plan." And Stuart, I do think it is really aided by the fact that Johnny knows the business. He was in business at
Mhm.
one point in time. So I think Ruth sees this as more of a safe bet, as like a start for the start of her new firm with the other junior partners.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, especially with it being junior partners and like Ruth is like all banding together to form this new firm, certainly seems reactionary to the type of personalities that they get in that boardroom who are higher ups than they are. And so I can imagine them just this being an almost like daily occurrence of them berating
Mhm.
people that don't deserve it. And so this seems absolutely as a kind of like reaction to that. And a good one because it's like it's so fortuitous for them because yeah, there's a personal touch. Like Ruth has that kind of memory of like the free popcorn and it just being a nice touch to it. And then Johnny like just on the ball with it. It's just like, well, yeah, it's a great way of like making things personal. And it's like that is the exact same touch that
Mhm.
he's trying to bring to the whole motel group. And well, Rose Video was a massive success. Yes, it's an old sector that's kind of died out, but that's the times. This is the same principle just applied somewhere that is just has more longevity. And I think it's an obvious opportunity
Mhm.
that Ruth kind of sees. But to be able to like tie that and get the kind of fortuitousness of the whole situation of them starting a new firm in reaction to it and it being a really nice personal thing, it's just so nice and neat how it all comes together so well.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and the fact that like even the personal touch of like when Ruth comes down, Johnny addresses her by name. Like immediately, it's that kind of like it's a real kind of sign that he
It's
does care
respect.
about the small details and he has respect. Exactly that.
Yeah.
So it just
Mhm.
lends itself into like a huge favor and really kind of I don't know. It just really highlights the yeah they're good eggs and they do deserve this.
Mhm.
They did not deserve what happened upstairs.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ruth's a good egg too for having recognised the situation. And although it's not launched for a month, still brings them into the fold earlier than that because there's opportunity. Yeah, it's really good. That really kind of made my heart grow like two sizes because I was there just going, oh, this is
Yeah.
so sweet.
And it's like such a small moment, but even at the end of like the pitch when Johnny's like finishing it up, you can see they like cut really quickly to her and like one of the other junior partners, and she like leans over to him like whispering about it. And you just know
Mhm.
like after the fact, like that was when like it was like mostly sold, and like Roland like brings it home at the end, like that man's a legend, like everything, but you can tell she was already thinking about it. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
they must see so many pitches, like she says they turn away so many good ideas, like the Uber thing, like
Mhm.
day after day seeing them turn away these like great ideas. Like it
Yeah.
must be infuriating. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that sort of
especially
thing
knowing.
must happen all the time in real life too. Like I
Oh
remember
yeah.
like there was the Netflix Blockbuster thing. Like Blockbuster had the
Oh,
chance to
yeah.
buy Netflix once upon a time, and they turned it down. And
Yeah.
everyone knows how that went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think part of it too is Ruth knowing that Johnny knows the business, even though this is a different business. He knows how to run a business, and that I do think part of it is wanting to work with people that are like, not morally corrupt, right? Like I think she wants to start off the firm in the right direction and not get into bed with like, really disgusting kind of, just gross money hungry people. Like he actually has a vision for this. And
Yeah.
on top of that, I think it's one of the like, it's a cheaper idea to attain than something, insanely huge, right? Like this is something that could start small and build. And so it's viable for a newer firm to take on. I like that this is the way they went, because a different show could have had it where the big firm does say yes, right? Like it feels still like realistic to happen, even if it is kind of like a little too neat and too perfect that it does happen for them on like the first try. It still feels attainable, and it still feels like it is a realistic thing that could happen. It doesn't necessarily feel like, well, the show's coming to an end, so we had to make a good thing happen for them,
Like
so I like that it
I
feels
feel
that
like
way
a
too.
lower quality show would have had like Johnny's friend like call in at the last minute and be like, "What are you doing? Give him the deal." Like that's
Yeah.
my like friend. Like, and it would have just come off a little like, eh. But
Yeah.
like having him not show up at all, and then having like someone who looks like they actually heard the pitch and respect the pitch and want it like actively, like even after hearing that pitch they still wanted to bring them out to lunch to pitch them on their business model and how the junior partners are coming together.
Yeah, because it makes it feel more earned, doesn't it? Because although like it's calling in a favor from Johnny, it's like it's still like kind of leaning on an old connection. It's a bit too businessy. Whereas this is the result of good work. This is the result of the long-term investment that Johnny's made without realizing it, of the personal touch to the businesses, and establishing why that connection is so important. It's a thing that he's been talking about the entire time with the motel, with like the pastries, with all the little touches that he wants to bring to this, and it pays off, and it feels earned, and especially because they were so complimentary following Stevie's delivery of the whole pitch as well. Like I think it's after Stevie finishes, which leans in and goes, "Oh, that was really good." It's theirs. It's not something that's handed to them because of obligation or guilt or anything. Yeah, totally.
And even like we start, I think, speaking of Stevie, we like start the episode with her so nervous, so anxious. She doesn't even want to go. She's like, somebody else can go in my place. I don't need to be there.
Chugging CBD oil.
So good. We end the episode with David saying, well, I guess you're a businesswoman now. And she's like, yeah, I am. Like she has this confidence now because she went into that meeting, because she killed it. She absolutely killed that pitch. Like she gains more confidence. That is a Stevie that we saw after Cabaret, And so for her to have that attitude and that confidence in her career, in her business side, versus just this like creative endeavor that she did one time, is really significant for a character like Stevie, who certainly did not start out that way. Like it's taken her a long time to get here. And I loved it for her. I especially love, like, we'll get into the Patrick and David stuff, but like the celebration when they return, and like I've watched this episode like at least 3 or 4 times this week. And I've noticed, so like Moira immediately hugs Johnny, Alexis hugs Johnny, obviously Jocelyn is gonna hug Roland, but we see like David and Patrick hang back for a second. David looks to Patrick, then David runs and hugs Stevie first, and they say the lines together, and then like everybody kind of just starts hugging in like one big group. It is just like so lovely. I feel like it was such an intentional order of operations that way, where like we do get the David and Patrick hanging back a little bit, almost like David looking to Patrick for like, not permission, but like, am I allowed to be excited about this sort of a thing?
Yeah. That was certainly a weird dynamic there, wasn't it? Because there was that kind of look, almost like, I guess, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but like almost as if David was acknowledging the awkwardness of perhaps the conflict there of, there's certainly that, like, I mean, Patrick was looking a bit kind of sus most of the episode there as to whether or not he was excited or not. And so, like, it was almost like Patrick kind of gave another, going, yeah, you can be excited for this, because, I mean, it's a massive achievement for them, regardless of what it may change or anything. But also, like, it's a huge step forward for their friend Stevie, who, like, is going to be, like, best person at the wedding and is basically David's best friends. It's so of course, yeah, and yeah, the fact that like Stevie's go-to is David in that moment is just adorable. Considering how we started with them as well.
Yeah. One of David's best friends, and I think at this point, one of Patrick's best friends too. Because they make fun of David together.
So good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of David and Patrick, let's get into what's going on with them. Because David immediately buys into the hype once Alexis starts apartment hunting. And he just, here's the thing. I've been here before where like you get so excited about something that you are suddenly finding yourself looking 10 steps ahead into the future. And like, oh, well, New York is a perfect place for our business to thrive. Like, you know, and he's telling the truth. Like the kind of products they sell, like would, I feel like, hit in a place like New York, you know, where you have like some bougie people. That being said, New York is a tough market. It's not like,
and an overpopulated market. I'm sure there's like 50 other stores just like that there.
Of course.
There's a reason they stand out in Schitt's Creek.
But David immediately gets like very excited. And I think I choose to look at the sweeter side of it being that David loves New York. He does want to return to New York. Also, that's where his family will presumably be. And he wants to be close to them. And again, it is very sweet. What is not so sweet is the way in which he delivers this news to Patrick. I personally feel like the way he was presenting it was like, obviously we're moving to New York. It was not a question of, would you be comfortable moving to New York? It is obviously we're moving. And I think that is tough because we don't see him walk that back at all during the episode. And I feel like Stuart, if his gut reaction is to be excited and to want to move to New York, I feel like that's understandable and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But once you see Patrick react badly to this, I think you are then responsible for then walking it back a little bit and being like, I'm sorry, I did not consider your feelings at all.
Yeah, that would have been really nice to.
He did offer half a muffin.
Give me the whole damn muffin if you're gonna mess up. What is this half a muffin?
He already
nonsense?
ate it.
Oh right, he did. What good is half a unless it's a ginormous muffin? What good is half a muffin? What did he say? What type of muffin it was?
No,
because that also depends.
It depends what half it is. Also, if it's like cut down the middle or just the bottom. Because if it's just the bottom,
if you just eat the top of the muffin first, go straight to jail. Don't pass go.
Yeah,
straight to jail.
No.
That's like who eats a muffin top down? Like it's sides. You eat sideways, right?
Down before.
Can I tell you how I eat muffins? That's gonna blow your mind and maybe make you
tear off the bottom and eat the bottom first.
No.
Okay, I do
something
that.
Worse. I take off. So generally speaking, it depends on the muffin. It depends on like where I am. If I'm at home eating a muffin, this is how I will eat it. I will take off the like paper wrapper. I will put it in a bowl and I will eat it with a spoon because I don't like how crumbly and messy they are.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
I just
that's
think
why
it's better.
I take out the wrapper, like the paper, turn it upside down, tear off the bottom, and I eat that. And I almost use like the little like upside down muffin top, almost like a bowl to catch all the crumbs.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
See, super smart. But yeah, half a muffin is offensive.
Also, why would you not bring something back for Patrick, like to begin with?
Yeah, he likes tea.
He opens the door and he's like, "Do I look like I have a treat for you?" And the answer was no.
No, you have half of your muffin.
That is just opening horrible.
What if David eats a bran muffin? Like, I don't want half of your bran muffin, you know?
Like David would get a bran muffin. I don't think it's bran.
Right? Yeah. Maybe he's having a healthy day. I don't know.
No, I imagine David's the kind of person. Yeah, I think David gets like a chocolate chip muffin every day and goes, oh, yeah, but this is my treat one. But like every day is the treat one.
Yeah. I also love that when he did walk in on Alexis looking for apartments, he says he was on his break, but really he forgot his wallet, his car keys, and his cell phone.
And his phone. Yeah.
Everything you're supposed to bring with you when you leave the house.
The worst.
How do you forget your car keys and why do you need them if
Johnny has the car.
You
Or no,
got
Johnny
there
didn't have
and
the
back
car.
without keys.
Yeah, who has the car? Yeah, I don't know. But
Madness.
I don't know. How badly are we condemning David for this behavior this episode? I guess my biggest problem is that it doesn't get resolved, right?
Yeah.
Like there's still this
Yeah.
lingering
lot
tension
of
between them.
unresolved emotions and feelings and thoughts that David has to go through, obviously, surrounding his
Yeah.
family.
It's complicated, and the fact that it's unresolved it makes it hard to fully judge because we can't really say that David hasn't acknowledged Patrick's feelings because again, I'm not sure if a conversation has happened that we just haven't seen because I certainly get that there was a different vibe from the initial conversation to how we see Patrick react when they're awaiting Johnny's arrival. So I'm like, has something happened there that we haven't been made aware of, or is this just one of those we'll talk later situations and they will eventually get to it? I don't know. I have to assume though that that David has picked up on the vibe at the very least, and maybe in not talking about it, that's their way of acknowledging it. So it's like, yeah, we'll deal with it when we deal with it, kind of thing.
The looks
That's my
definitely
only
gave
way.
the looks gave the vibe of we'll talk later. Like, okay, when they're sitting waiting for Johnny and them to return, David gives Patrick almost like a sheepish kind of like I feel bad, I'm so excited look. And then when before David goes to hug Stevie, again, he kind of looks for like approval from Patrick as far as like, am I allowed to be excited? And then when they're doing the group hug, Patrick looks at David with almost like he looks so happy. I don't want to like ruin this sort of a look, you know?
It's a really good like bit of acting because it's I think it captures that, but I think it also captures this bit of disappointment in that like I was hoping we wouldn't have to have this conversation. Maybe it would have failed and we wouldn't have had to even approach this because it wouldn't happen. So it's going to lead to a difficult conversation. And I got all of those emotions in one look. I was like, oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
I love Patrick so much. Yeah. And
it
the
was
other
a really
thing
good
is
choice to have them do that.
Well, I feel like we could very wholeheartedly agree that were this us, if we are the David and Patrick in this situation, whichever role either of us is in.
I'm the Patrick.
What?
If that was ever in question.
I mean,
so
okay, fine. You're the Patrick. Anyway.
I should have worn a blue shirt today.
The best part is before you got on the call, I was saying to Stuart, well, at least Patrick is wearing blue today.
Yeah, and as I said, you can't disregard someone's feelings based on the color of their shirt. Like,
Listen, he looks so good, and it's that like deep blue. Ugh. Anyway, the point is, I think credit to Patrick for not putting a damper on any of this because were it us in this conflict, I just don't think there's a world in which we're like, yeah, let's set this aside for now. I think it would be like, no, we're talking about this and we're talking about it right now. Like, I don't think there is a we'll talk later sort of a thing.
I think it depends. Like, if the moment, like, alone in the shop, absolutely.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
By the time you get to the end of the episode and you're like waiting for them to get back, like, you have to be there for the people. Like,
you have to talk back. Like
it's not about you at that
telekinesis.
moment. It's about them and their emotions.
Yeah. I know I'm the David, but you didn't have to say it like that. Like,
I know I'm the David.
It wasn't insulting.
I mean, in this episode, it feels insulting.
No. I mean, like, David had some good moments in this episode. David was very hilarious in it. Like,
except the fact that you would absolutely never move to New York City.
There you see, that's it. Of the two of us, who's more willing to move to New York City? I won't even stay more than one night there. Like, it is not for me, okay? Not happening. I miss the trees and the fresh air and the lack of people, you know? It's too people-y down there.
But okay, here's the real thing as to whether or not you are like David or not. Would you participate in the prayer circle?
can't wait. We got to talk about the prayer circle.
If it was run by
Yes.
Moira, she would.
Okay, there are so many things to love about this prayer circle. Number one, that Moira is leading it. Number two, that she's on her knees. Number three, that she starts it off to whom it may concern. Number four, the fact that they're forced to hold hands. Number five, the fact that the hands get higher and higher and higher into the air as the prayer goes on. Number whatever number I'm even on, the fact that she has to describe Johnny. He's 5'10". He talks slowly. Like, this entire scene, I was giggling the entire time when I watched it for like the third or fourth time today, because it is just, and then Alexis, your hands are drier than an autumn leaf.
Autumn leaf. Ew.
Ew.
I just love that if you are calling upon the divine to send a message in true, like almost Jester Lavore fashion of doing a sending spell, the critters know what I'm talking about there, of just opening it with my macho man. It's just a choice of absurdity. I love it. Like, if that is her nickname for Johnny that we've only just found out, I'm so happy to find that out right now.
Yep.
The running commentary from David and Alexis too, where it's like, oh, he's the only one who's tried. And Alexis is like, that's not true. David, absolutely not. It's just perfect. And David is so uncomfortable the entire time. He's like, do we have to hold hands while doing this? Like, can we please stop? And no one did anything for your father. Alexis made him a card and David said, take care.
Hey, that's legitimate. I would claim that as well. I mean, like,
it's so good. I love the prayer circle so much. It tickles me endlessly. It is so funny. It's so ridiculous. And it's so sweet too. I really loved it. I can't. All right, did we miss anything? You know what? Stuart, I want to ask you before we get into the ratings and all of that. I want to ask you, where are we going? Like, we have 2 episodes left. What do you think we're going to be doing in these 2 episodes? Like, what's going to end up happening with everyone? Are they moving to New York? Are they not moving to New York? What's going on?
We gotta have a wedding, right? And the only way in which I can, like, if we don't see David and Patrick's wedding, I'm gonna, honestly, I've threatened it before, but I will quit the podcast after the final episode, of course, because I'm going to be doing that anyway. But like, I will quit if we don't.
No bonus podcasts.
We've got to have a wedding. But like, I feel like we are being set up to have the pre-wedding jitters. Like, this is going to be the like real moment of like, okay, we have to talk about this. This is a serious commitment, and we've hit a stumbling block here of sorts, and it's going to be resolving that, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a finale that is a bigger wedding. That's the hope.
Okay.
But yeah, it could swing either way. This I wouldn't be surprised if this show really did throw a curveball of just like kind of, we've seen it with Ted and Alexis. Sometimes people are better off like splitting off and like having their own individual stories because it's just not meant to be. So I don't see them as being unafraid to do that. Given that it's the series end, though, I mean, if we don't get a wedding, I will kick off. So yeah, I think that's where we're kind of headed. Fingers crossed.
Okay, but I want to know actual predictions. Where does each individual character end up by the end of the series?
No, every main character.
God.
Yeah, I want to. We're 2 episodes away. Now's the time.
I mean, Johnny, Moira, and Alexis, New York bound.
Okay.
I can see that certainly happening. Stevie, New York bound as well, maybe. Is everyone just going to leave David and Patrick here? Oh gosh, that's really horrible to think. Yeah, I think I'm leaning that way. I think that's the only way in which it can go with it. Does that mean, wait, no. Roland will probably be left to look after like the main one, right? Because like he's got to stay around. And he's the mayor. Like, he can't just uproot the entire family. Right. So like Roland, Jocelyn, and everyone, they sticking around. But yeah, I think we might see the 4 of them. So like the family, but Stevie is like surrogate David heading off to New York, and David and Patrick staying. And I think maybe we'll see some happiness with them staying. I think that's probably what I'm thinking is going to happen.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We have 2 episodes left.
Roland's mayor. He's on town council. He can't just walk away.
He has responsibilities.
Even though Moira's on town council, and she's just like, get me the frick out of here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
well, for now, let's give out some ratings. Our Simply the Best and Disgruntled Pelican points. Will, I'm going to turn to you first for your Simply the Best
Ooh.
MVP point of the episode.
Okay.
Who do you want to give it to and why?
Okay. Before I get to who I'm going to give it to, I want to give a shout out to my favorite side character, who really wanted to know if everyone wanted to go to the M&M store, Twyla. And she just has one line anytime she shows up that just makes me smile or laugh so much. And I appreciate her so much. So I wanted to shout her out real quick. But
sweetheart.
Especially because she looks so excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's excited about
M&M
everything.
store.
Like, she's in it for whatever people are like doing. Like, if they're going for their dream, she is in it for them. She is 100% there for them, and I love that about her.
Yeah.
For the Simply the Best, there is only one choice. The man is a legend, as Roland said.
Yeah.
Johnny is the reason they're in the room in the first place. He has the connections from the old days, even if it is to some shady people. He kept the relationships alive to get him in the room in front of other people who were good enough to see that they had worth. And I give Johnny the credit for that, and I give him the credit for the pitch itself, where he sold their plan, their actual plan. And even though Roland brought it home, Johnny got him like 85% of the way, and then Stevie and Roland like brought him the rest of the way.
Okay.
So Johnny Rose gets the point.
All right. Stuart, what about you? What do you think is Simply the Best?
I, of course, am kind of thinking that Roland is a candidate. Like Roland standing up for everything is just everything that I wanted from Roland in terms of like, not Roland hasn't really had a character journey or anything like that, but you expect like him to have like a triumphant moment at least once in this entire show, and for it to be at this point, I think that like this is as triumphant as a moment as he could have got, and I think that worked so well. But like Will said, they're not in the room without Johnny. I don't think that Roland sticks up for Johnny unless Johnny had done that for Roland with the Taylors before. I think this entire episode is paying off Johnny for all of the good little things that he's done, whether it be good deeds or good choices, and for him to finally reap the rewards of those after what has been 3 really kind of crappy years with a fall from grace. Like, and I think that it's so poignant to kind of point out that, like, yeah, okay, he came from massive amounts of wealth and privilege, and was brought down to what I would say is normal people's level. But that fall from grace and that judgment that came with it, that we saw with the Taylors, and then we saw again with these absolute douchebag business guys, is like, that is so horrible to experience, that sense of like judgment. And Johnny not only overcame it, but like he came out so much better, but without even having to like take the money from those kind of people. So I don't think that anyone can get it this episode. It's got to be Johnny for me. I think it's so far ahead than anyone else. Yeah, it's Johnny.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Roland absolutely deserves a shout out, though. Like, this is, I think personally, my favorite Roland moment of the series, because
the one where he stands up for Johnny.
It's because they have such a relationship compared to Roland and like any other character on the show other than Jocelyn. Like, it's such a good payoff with everything they've done in the past. Like, Roland never throws away an opportunity to take a jab at Johnny because he like feels this like connection to him. He's like his kind of his best friend. Like,
yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I will say I struggle a little bit with this one because I do think Roland has significant growth in this episode. Like,
just
he
like took a mint.
he not only took a mint, he offered Johnny a
Yeah.
mint too, which is never a bad thing to do before a big business pitch. He wears he's wearing Johnny's suit, but he looks really good. Like he looks like he's prepared for this meeting. The fact that he thought to bring the briefcase to look intimidating, like he cares and he's trying. And like he didn't say a lot during the pitch itself. Like, that is mostly handled by Johnny and Stevie.
By design.
But he also, again, he didn't mess it up though. He didn't interject and screw things up. Like we could have seen Roland doing that in the past. And then to stand up for Johnny, again, he didn't have to do that. Like he could have just left. He could have just walked out of the room. He could have just pretended he didn't hear it. And I do think like, as I cut down Roland a lot, like I give Roland a lot of crap because of what he does. And so I then have to also take the opposite approach and like give him his flowers when he deserves them. Johnny obviously does the lion's share of the work on the pitch itself. He gets them in the room. He sells it to the people there, right? Like all of those things are extremely true. But I think like to not recognize Roland's growth, like would also be a little bit of a disservice to him because he is really fighting for Johnny and being protective of Johnny in a way that I don't know that we've really seen in the past of Roland. Like this to me is Roland's most like admirable moment of the series. And I'm conflicted because Johnny is incredible. I do think Johnny is deserving, but I feel like giving Johnny 3 points and not giving Roland any for like what I think is his literal best moment of the series feels not fair to Roland. So I am going to give my point to Roland. I think it would have been a toss-up. Like if Stuart had given his to Roland, I could have seen myself maybe giving mine to Johnny, but I just feel like it's unfair to not recognize Roland for his part in all of this when I do think, I mean, I don't know, maybe I assume Ruth is going to approach them regardless and say, we loved your pitch. It could have also been that she saw Roland's speech and felt like, oh, wow, I really do want to work with these people. They have heart. So like, I do think his speech could have played a part in all of that. Like, we don't know. So
that's a really good point. Also, really tactical invite here, bringing on Will, who's a guaranteed Johnny vote, and like it gives us a bit of flexibility, right? Yeah.
I mean, I made Will go first because we knew where his vote
it would have been
going,
better if it was all Johnny votes. I'm just saying, but like. I know I get on you behind the scenes about not giving Johnny more points and in the comment section on the YouTube videos.
Everyone knows. Everyone is aware
justice
of
for
this.
Johnny.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to disgruntled Pelican points. Though.
I just want to say,
I
think you're right to do Roland good here and give him a point. And
his one problem was his hair, but like he's not going to get a haircut.
That's always been the same.
Exactly. His hair's
well,
been
I mean,
terrible.
he did have a couple of them. I mean, I don't want to take the point away or anything like that, but I mean, he did spill the water from nervousness, and he did take credit for the deal at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
He did say it was me.
Yeah, but I think that's just
he
Roland.
Feels that he did. I don't think
he does
he's
feel that way too.
Outwardly lying.
He believes it. Yeah.
I think he believes it.
Yeah. Disgruntled Pelican points, I think we should discuss this because we've had these conversations, Stuart, where how much are we going to include people who we know will never be on the show again, who only appear once? Generally speaking, we've made the rule that they have to do something truly heinous and awful to earn disgruntled Pelican points. And then I feel like kind of has been an unspoken rule, or at least less talked about, is it's mostly when there aren't other deserving main characters that have earned a disgruntled Pelican point. And I feel like we're in an interesting situation where the people that the Rosebud group pitches to, minus Ruth, are pretty fucking heinous, specifically the two men on the one side of the table. They are truly despicable and awful. However, we also have David, who is not taking Patrick's feelings really into consideration. And that is, in most episodes, would probably be given a disgruntled Pelican point. So my question to you, Stuart, is like, where do we stand on this? I don't even know if I know the names of the two men at the table, to be honest.
That's the point I was going to get onto. Yeah. Bev and Don Taylor, we still name them.
Remember their names.
Yeah.
Full name, all these seasons later. I couldn't tell you what these two were called. And I think that they are just caricature business bastards, and they
Mhm.
will remain that. And they don't have a lasting impact, which is good because they shouldn't, because they're awful. But yeah, I think that it's ordinarily is because we've really kind of been struggling to find someone to give it to, and it really like at times it's been a bit of a cop out. I think in Taylor's actually though they actually claimed it. But yeah, with this one, not only is I think they're one contender, I think there are multiple contenders from the main cast
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay, I want to
because
hear.
I see it.
I think Moira is like an eligible candidate
Mhm.
purely for like what happened with the Jazza Gals. That was
Mhm.
outrageous. Like
Yeah.
Moira, we give so many free passes to for like how center stage she is in her own life and everyone
Mhm.
else's life, that like kind of we give her a pass because it's funny. But like she ruined that poor like Grace's like leaving like do, and messed up the cake and was just generally quite rude. She
Mhm.
engaged like the prayer circle of just absurdity, the pre-packing, and also I'm still not hot on Moira's just fire under her butt to leave Schitt's Creek,
Mhm.
because all
Yeah.
of the other family have found some way of accepting it. Moira hasn't exactly
Mhm.
got a bad life here. Like, yeah, okay, the motel isn't the
Yeah.
best. They could move somewhere else. They could move somewhere nice, like, or like even nearby. But she is determined to leave. And I'm like, I don't think she still quite appreciates the place for what it is. And I don't think
Mhm.
she ever will. It's just not her character. And
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't judge her for that, but I do. So I'm going to give mine to Moira, regardless
Yeah.
of whether we include the business guys or not.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
Yeah. I was between a few different options. Obviously, the business guys, but I don't even know their names. And even though they throw their jabs in the meeting, like Johnny, in another point in his column, takes every single one of them and spins it into a joke and like keeps
Yeah.
moving in the meeting and doesn't let it deter the mission of making their sale. So
Hmm.
forget those guys; they don't matter. We're moving on without them. Then I get between David and Moira, and I see there's things that both of them do. I think there's an open-endedness to the David stuff where there's a conversation to be had later, and I think even though there's a conversation to be had later, I could give it to him. And then there's the Moira stuff, and I agree with a lot of your points, Stuart. I think Moira has grown the least out of the family members. And she's been very consistent. She wants to get out of here, even though last season she kind of found a place in the town and did the whole play, and like she could do
Hmm.
another one. They could do
Yeah.
another play, but they aren't. And she's more focused now on like other ways to get out of the town instead of like emboldening her space in the town and using that space on town council to like do a bit more of like Moira centric things that she can be in charge of. So I think I'm with you. I think I'm going to give it to Moira.
Oh,
Okay.
And
no
smearing the
pressure,
cake.
Jess.
Smearing the
This
cake
is
was a bit
this
much.
is tough. I think I agree with both of you. If I knew the men's names, I feel like I would give it to them. But the fact that
Mhm.
I don't know their
Yeah.
names and I can't even attribute negative points to them as a result, it is what
Yeah.
makes me not want to do it. Plus the fact that we do have a couple of characters who are kind of, making themselves worthy of these points. I'm going to switch things up. I feel like what Moira does isn't, again, similar with the Johnny Roland. I feel like Moira, what she does isn't bad enough to warrant -3. I do think what David does is enough to warrant -1.
Yeah.
I just think, like, again, it's okay to be excited. It's, you should be excited for your family. I think to just assume that you can pick up your entire life and move to a new city, and that your husband, the person that you are marrying, your
Yeah.
fiance, will just be okay with that. is really short-sighted and really just unfair
Mhm.
of David. I think he needs to consider Patrick's feelings. And even if he
Yeah.
gets ahead of himself and he steps in it and he makes this mistake, the fact that he doesn't then have a serious conversation with Patrick before his family returns is also just like a miss for me. Like, I wouldn't want this hanging over my head when I'm trying to celebrate or in a different way, a different world, console my family members over this pitch, right? Like, I want to be able to be there for them, and I don't know that I could be if my brain was preoccupied with what's going on with me and Patrick. So I just feel like it's not great for David to do this, especially. Also, something to consider is, yes, David was talking about following his family. What about Patrick's family? Like, no, they're not like super local, but this is where his life is. Like, he has built a life here. Who says he wants to just pick it up and move it? Like, it's a lot for David to just assume that Patrick will be on board with this. And I feel like it's it's unfair. It's unfair to Patrick.
I totally agree with that. And I came into the podcast thinking I was going to give this point to David. But I think even more than just this episode, like, I think David is worse in this particular episode than Moira. I think I'm just coming on here for this one episode. So it's just more of an accumulation of like Moira's character growth in this season to this point. That it's just, I feel like I have to give it to her over David, because I feel like they could be at a better place with her right now.
Yeah.
Just right near the end. With not a lot of runway left.
Yeah.
Where like David, I could see them like using this and like building something in these last couple episodes and having it matter even more. David, like wherever that conversation with Patrick ends up.
Yeah, it's fair. It is more of a part one. It's unfinished with David, at least.
I certainly got that feeling as well. Like, being a first-time watcher, I felt like there was something certainly unresolved here.
That lingering look. Yeah.
David hasn't even considered that his family might not be here at some point. Like, and he's put roots down here. So like, it's a bit of like a panic in his eyes when he sees Alexa's like looking for apartments, because he hasn't even considered that.
Yeah. It's a strange one.
All right. Well, let's get into tier ranking the episode. As usual, we have our tiers: hot shit, full bouquet, love that journey for me, you, David, and shit out of luck. Stuart, where's your gut saying the pitch should go?
Despite obviously there being some negativity around the business B words, and obviously the kind of like having two candidates for LVP, I still think this is a hot shit episode. This is, I think, a milestone of an episode that I would absolutely go back and watch multiple times, because it had some, like, the prayer circle alone is the funniest thing that's happened
To whom it may
for a
concern.
long time. As well as like that, the opening and like of them with the signs and everything, it was just really funny. Just the little quips of like even like not even necessarily the funny quips, but just like, I guess you're a businesswoman. It's like, damn right I am. Like, yeah, hell yeah. Some like really solid like individuals like moments. I think this is, for plot progression, a huge step forward. Like, there's something big happens, and you get also the warm fuzzies as well. But I think this also introduces a little fourth little circle into this little Venn diagram that we often kind of like cite, of just, the sad fuzzies a little bit. Because
the sad fuzzies.
And I'm a sucker for any media that makes me feel anything. Like, anything sad, certainly. Anything that evokes strong emotions, I adore. I kind of wish it didn't hit this month for me, because like I'm very in a Patrick space of just, I don't know if I can deal with that change right now. But yeah, I think profound. And I think, as given all of those factors, I think, for me at least, I think it's a fantastic episode. So I think it should be in hot shit. I'm curious to see if you disagree or...
Yeah. Well, I want to hear what Will thinks first. I'm interested.
This is Johnny Rose's episode, baby. Hot shit all the way. Straight to the top.
So dependable. I love it.
Wow, predictable as ever. Yeah, I would
Put
say
it at
coming.
the top of hot shit.
All right, now enough out of you.
Best
That's
episode of the
ridiculous.
series.
That is not.
New
no.
tier, Johnny
Just-
tier.
It's called the Johnny Roast here.
Johnny Rose approved. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
there you go. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I think I came into this podcast thinking I would have it in full bouquet. Like, I think it's a solid episode. I do think it does it would push over into the hot shit territory with it's like an accumulation, I think, because of everything before it leading to this point. It's not solely on the back of this episode, but because of what we've done to get here and how much they've built to this moment. And I also think like the mirrored Roland standing up for Johnny, just like Johnny stood up for Roland, I think is so well earned. The fact that, as Stuart said, we could read 20 different emotions on Patrick's face. Like, there are just so many good moments this episode. It's just not one like, you know, when you can point to like Moira Rose and be like, that is the episode where David and Moira get so drunk on wine and make fools of themselves. Like, it doesn't have this like single moment beyond probably the Roland moment for me. That is like iconic, but I think because of the accumulation of of what we've done to get here, and obviously the prayer circle, which seriously tickled me in a way I can't. I was giggling the entire. It's so insane. Just the hands in the air, they get higher and higher, and it's just so stupid and funny.
Just go with it.
Yeah, I love it so much. I do think
just put the episode higher and higher.
Yeah.
Just move
I do
it
think
over
it's earned its spot in hot shit. I would argue it should still be at the bottom of hot shit because I just think I prefer Moira Rose and a lot of these other ones. Like,
I don't know.
think
I think you're alone in that.
I think you're a guest.
I think this is an accumulation of a lot of different storylines. Everything to do with the motel has led to this moment. Every
so if
problem they
Will
dealt
would
with,
have this,
every dead body that's shown up in the motel,
every dead body, there was one.
Every cinnamon bun, every bad guest they've had.
Oh my god.
Renaming the motel, and now it's a franchise, and now they're going to be nationwide and maybe even a little international since they're pitching in New York.
Big progression.
And it's
Will obviously wants this all the way at the top. Stuart, where would you like this in
I'd
the
settle
row of
for
hot
the
shit?
middle.
Okay, I'm so I'm nothing
Will,
more than to
I
please
need
you, Will.
All right, all the way at the top. Yeah.
I also would have put this at the top. Not gonna lie, like not even like to wind you up, Jess. I think it's a really strong episode for me. So I think somewhere in the middle. I think
I'll go no higher than directly in the center because the premiere is just like the crows.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. Like, it's so stupid and funny.
Coming back. Yeah. I think in the middle is kind of where I think it is a good fit, right? I certainly wouldn't say it's the best episode of the season so far, but yeah, I think certainly one of the strongest.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna leave it in the center. So sunrise, sunset, and the premiere ahead of it, and the wingman and Moira Rose behind it. All on that hot
bullying doesn't work.
I'm happy my pitch worked out there, and I was able to push it up a little higher.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much to have both of you on one.
Yes. Respect Will. He's a legend.
Oh my god. How do I get out of here? Okay.
I also love that it sets up like the end game. Like, it sets up like where our character's gonna end up. A lot of big stuff. We only have 2
episodes left.
Exactly.
2 episodes left.
We gotta get the audience thinking about that. Put them in that headspace. Make them sad.
Make them sad. Speaking of, next week we're going to be talking about season 6, episode 13. Start spreading the news.
New York. There's New York plans, surely. Big conversations.
They're leaving today.
Rap. Yeah.
So that will be next week. Our penultimate episode of the series.
I can't. Well, penultimate episode of the series.
Not of the
but
podcast.
Not our penultimate podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this
So
was
the plan.
anti-penultimate episode was this one.
Who's auntie penultimate?
Oh, good God. So we'll have the penultimate, the finale. Then we're going to do the special. So best wishes, warmest regards, a Schitt's Creek farewell. We're going to cover that. And then we're going to do a series wrap up. And we still haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten about a Mighty Wind. We're going to do a Mighty Wind. Okay. We haven't forgotten.
Yes.
We did forget for like a second, but then we remembered again. So we are going to do it. It will be somewhere in there. We'll have it in there.
Shout out to Todd for kind of just nudging us.
Reminding
and going,
us.
you?
Yeah, like,
we were like,
did you forget?
We
we're like, yeah, we forgot. We did forget. It's fine.
In the like wrap up episode after it's all over, are you going to give out like awards? Are you going to give out like shitties or something?
Shitty.
Biggest Johnny
Or
Rose stan.
You could give out roses. No, I think you could give out roses, and
I love that we could give out. I love that the first thought was shitties, not roses. When you literally give your flowers to people. Anyway, we'll probably come up with something. Yeah, for the finale.
Things cooking.
Final thing.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Will, do you have anything do you want to point people anywhere? Do you want people to do anything? Go anywhere? See anything?
No.
Okay, great. Stuart and I have stuff cooking in the works for after talking shit. So don't forget about us. We'll be around. You'll see. We'll be doing things. Stuart, do you want to tell anybody about anything? Do you want anyone to go anywhere? See anything? Do anything?
No. I'm really on the spot and I have nothing prepped.
Stay inside. Don't do anything.
Sure.
It's fall. It's autumn.
Enjoy it, people.
Now's the time, baby.
Weather.
Go pick
now
some apples.
is the time. Yeah, we're gonna pick some apples. Gonna get some apples.
Nice.
Do you have apple picking over there? No.
We have the best apples over here.
We have trees.
You're talking to people who live in New York. What do you think you're doing?
You have big apples. We have good apples.
I can't with him right now. Wow, we have to end the podcast because we're about to fight. Okay. Well, I'm going to sign off on the podcast, and I will have you know that my co-host decided that he was going to remove what I normally say from our Word document that we use every single week. And I caught him in the act. And because of that, I memorized it. I said it in my head about 15 times so I would not forget by the end of the podcast because this happened like 15 minutes ago. So until next week, everyone, warmest regards.
And best wishes.
Tweet us on Facebook or leave us a review and you say, yeah, okay, I think I will.